Hello, this is Edith Newmeyer, and I'm the author of The Mystery of Adam. This is part 7, and today I will kind of talk about something different than my book. We talked about male dominance last time, and so I want to talk about something that happened this past weekend, and it is the Women's March. And obviously, women marched this past weekend because they're tired of male dominance. Now, I will be talking about that if that was the real reason. But I talked about last time, my last video, that when I wrote my book, I did a whole chapter on male dominance, and that was very important to me 10 years ago because I lived a big part of my life under male dominance. And so that really bothered me. And I was told by even the church that men have the right to rule or have authority over women. And I came to the conclusion that that is not true. That God created men and women equal. And especially in the church, there is no room for male dominance or dominance, period. There's no room for ruling over or having authority over. Now, I know historically, we're used to having a church that is hierarchical. That means we have somebody on top and people on the bottom that are just following, like a pyramid. On top is the pastor or bishop or priest, and on the bottom are all the sheep that listen every Sunday and say amen, amen, amen. Well, I came to the conclusion that that's not true. And I looked very heavily at male dominance because it seemed like men were in charge, in my world at least. But I have learned since that that is not true. That dominance is the result of the fall. And dominance is the result of the fall for men and women. The reason why men are usually in charge is because they're the stronger. Because they're physically stronger, they have more strength. They will dominate. However, not just over women, but they will dominate over men as well. So I came to that conclusion a while back. There's lots of women that dominate, that want to control, and that make life miserable for men. I need to say that. I need to be honest. I have experienced females, women, that have made life miserable for their husbands. And so I know that is possible. So the reason why I want to talk about this march is because these women supposedly went out there because they wanted to demonstrate that they're tired with male dominance. And they did it especially because Donald Trump became the president of the United States. And they see in Donald Trump this typical male chauvinist. Even though I cannot look at any of the presidents going back in history that were not male chauvinists. I mean, even Kennedy, who I thought was an excellent president and wanted changes, and I don't know what he did to his wife. Supposedly he had an affair with Marilyn Monroe. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I know that men, yes, have a tendency to be driven by their sexual part, or should I say by their penis. Okay? And I hope that's not stereotyping, and I hope it's not putting them down, because it's not my intention. But yeah, they have a tendency to, easily led astray by a woman. Or, I can see where Trump is a typical man who treats women sometimes, you know, just by being driven by his sexual whatever desires or whatever. That is not why we should all of a sudden, do a march against what, Trump? Uh, it's something I just don't understand. These women that were marching, I hope, against all male dominance. And I hear a lot of people saying, oh, white male dominance. No, no, there is no such thing as white male dominance. It's just simple male dominance, if you want to say anything. It's male dominance, okay? Blacks are just as dominant. I don't see any wonderful or blacks as general being great husbands. I don't see that. I mean, you can look at Obama and think he was a great husband and a great dad, but even if he was extreme, probably as a minority. Okay, in that regards, we have more blacks that are not even capable of being a good husband. And I'm not stereotyping. I don't want to stereotype. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to do that. Okay, but I can see that male dominance, let's leave it at that. Male dominance is not just a white thing. Male dominance is the same with Arabs, with Hispanics, with blacks, with any race. Chinese, I don't have too many experiences with Chinese. If not Chinese, but Asian. Actually, I do. I have experience with Filipino culture, and I know they're just as dominatory, as the rest of the males. So no, it's not a white, but they look at Trump and they see in him this typical white male misogynist, I guess. So anyway, so now these women, with their whole history of being supposedly wronged by men, now they're putting everything, all their little things that happened to them, and project it on Trump. Like he is now becoming the scapegoat of all the miseries they have gone throughout their life. I think that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. But it shows how even women are not in for the equality. They are not in for making things right. Look at all the women that marched. It was amazing to me. How in the world can something like that happen? Because boy, oh boy, this is the first big women's march that I have been experiencing in my life, and I'm 60 years old. So this is the first one I have experienced. I've never seen a big women's march. And for 60 years, do you think women were treated unfairly or abused or whatever? Yeah, yeah. And I haven't seen anybody marching. Isn't that kind of odd? Why are they waiting for Trump to finally get into office to unload on him what has been done to them for many, many centuries? Well, actually, thousands of years. Let's say 6,000 years at least. Okay, so now we're going out there to march and unload everything on Trump. I am not for Trump. Okay, I'm not a Trump supporter. But I'll tell you right now that Trump is not any worse than Hillary Clinton. Because Hillary Clinton had her chance to support women. And she hasn't done it. Okay? Michelle Obama had her chance for 8 years to support women. And she hasn't done it. Now, she thinks she has a very equal relationship with Obama, with Barack. But yet, she, you know, was just a normal woman. She didn't have her own um, profession during the time she was First Lady. I didn't see her getting involved with any of her own stuff. I mean, she put everything on hold to be a First Lady. Now, how equal is that? She stood behind her husband. Okay, she stood behind her husband. Okay, so I don't see that Michelle Obama did anything different. Or Hillary Clinton when she was First Lady. What did she do for women? I don't see anything. Let's look at things that maybe we can improve. And did she help us improve that? For instance, I'll give you one example. Women in Germany have the right to stay home after they have a baby for a whole year. And when they are finished with that 1 year, they get their old job back. So their old job has to be reserved just for them. In addition, they get 60, I believe it's 60% of their wages continue during that year. Now, I believe that is something to work for. In this country, women have to work almost to the time they deliver the baby. And then afterwards, I don't know how long they have off. If they even have it, they have to collect the days off. If they can even get, the sick leave or something, so they can stay home with their little babies. Well, I don't see that in the United States. That would be something that women could, fight for. And use a march like that and say, hey, this is what we want. These women that marched, they had no specific goal. The only goal they had is to unload on Trump. Now, what did they accomplish? Trump is still the president, still going to continue what he was supposed to be doing. Now, we all should know that Trump was voted in, was voted in by people that we don't even know. We think we voted for him, but in reality, the whole show was just staged in order so he would win. Okay, we should know that. We should know that. We as women shouldn't be angry because he became president. It was in the dealing long time ago. Okay, I even believe that Hillary Clinton was put up there in order for Trump to win. Okay, she had, they said that in the media that she has a chance, and she was, had more votes than Trump. She was leading, but I don't believe that a minute, not 1 minute that she was actually leading. I don't believe that. They wanted us to believe that, Trump didn't win by a landslide or whatever. But no, from the beginning, for goodness sakes, people, don't be fooled. From the beginning, Trump was going to be the winner. There's no doubt in my mind that he was meant to win, and he did win. So somebody else did the dealing. And now everybody is surprised that he did win. That is kind of ridiculous. It just shows that women have, I hate to say that, don't have any brains, because they're just going out there and mindlessly demonstrating for something that they couldn't have not controlled, and somebody else behind the scenes was controlling it. Matter of fact, the people behind the scenes that put Trump in place as president, are the same people that probably organized and financed this women's march. Now, I know somebody's going to say, well, why would they do that if they put Trump in there as president? Why would they finance? Because they want to stir up this country. Okay? Think about what happened during Obama's administration. Um, we had this Black Lives Matter march. Okay? Now, Obama didn't do a thing, did he? He didn't do a thing. He didn't go out there and made peace and had people sit together and, smooth things over. No, he just let it run its course. He just let it run its course. He wanted people to vent. Well, and the same thing is going or happened with this march. Whoever organized this march knew that women had still anger pinned up, and yeah, things are still not totally equal, and women are still being abused. But again, I said even men are being abused. So, hey, men should be doing a march. But this group of people knew where the anger was. They knew how they can divide our country. And they did it. They did it. Okay? It was really nothing but a venting. There was no goals. I would understand a march when people really have goals and say, we want to show Trump is what we want to see this next 4 years. Okay? We are there, we are demanding this is what's going to happen for women. Okay? For instance, human trafficking. Okay? Nobody talked about anything like that. Human trafficking. Okay? Women, again, and it's not just women, but it's young women and young boys, okay, who are victims of human trafficking, okay, okay, I'm much out there. I said, Trump, we want to see this. We want to see that we crack down more on the human trafficking, okay, specific things, please, okay, not just venting. I listened to this lady, Ashley, what was her name? Ashley something. I don't remember what her last name is, but she spoke in Washington, D.C. during this march. And she did nothing but vent. Okay? How bad Trump is. And he's the only one? He is the one. I don't think this lady had a very good upbringing with people that respected her, men that respected her, people that have pent up anger against men. They had to experience something negative with men, and they have never worked it out. Okay? And so now they're projecting their anger that they have not worked out with whoever it is, their fathers, their uncles, whoever was harming them. They're trying to project that anger on Trump, who hasn't done anything, to anybody. Now, I don't believe that is right. Now, we know that this march was done by probably mostly worldly people, worldly women, not necessarily Christian, even though I know some Christian women, at least one Christian woman, that marched in Denver. And she claims to be a Christian, so I'm sure there were Christian women as well. But they were mostly worldly women that maybe have no interest in working things out with men. But I believe that is where we need to start. We cannot just vent our frustrations on somebody like Trump and expect things to change, because they will not change. Unless we go out there and change things, things will not change. Venting will not help. Marching will not help. It will divide our country. It will anger people more. Right now, we have Trump as president. And what he is going to do is exactly what he is supposed to be doing by the people that put him in charge. And I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the people that it's almost like a government behind the government. And who that is, I don't know. But I know it's not the people, the American people, that got him voted in. It was all orchestrated. And if anybody doesn't believe that, I guess they're going to have to continue to be brainwashed and confused. That's fine. Just like these women that marched, and just like these women that marched, and nothing got done. Nothing. Not a thing got done. So, again, it showed me again that women and men are affected by sin. Women and men are in the business of wanting to be in authority over, want to be ruling over. Because these women that marched, I didn't see them sit down with any men in authority or men, like Trump, and discuss things with them and say, hey, this is what needs to change. We need to change things here. Okay, we need to have less women being abused or whatever. But I can guarantee today, I think we still have less women abused, but we also have a lot of men abused nowadays. Men that don't want to speak out. Okay, men who are too proud to speak out have been abused by their spouses. I know that. Okay, I have experienced that myself. So I think this march, and I believe marches are good as long as we have things that we want to accomplish. But this march, wow, somebody organized this march, and that person or that group of people, they knew exactly what they were doing, and all they wanted is to stir things up even more. Stir things up, not smooth things over, make things work. No, we need to demonstrate to the world that we are not even capable of letting democracy take its course. We need to act like little children, little spoiled children that want to get our way all the time. Okay? We cannot accept that maybe some other people, um, you know, have something to say in it. No, no, it has to be my way or the highway. And that is not equality. For me, that's not equality at all. And so I'm going to leave it with that. I had to bring that in because it was just amazing how so many women could be organized to march. And, since probably the suffrage movement, we haven't had anything like that. I mean, suffrage movement, we had smaller groups, but this was a large group. So who organized and why, right now, at this point, did they organize such a march? It is, for me, it's amazing to see how we are manipulated. And women, please wake up. Please wake up because we are manipulated. We are so terribly, terribly manipulated. Somebody on my Facebook account, he was commenting on this march, and I think it was a he or she. I don't. Doesn't matter. She was saying, so okay, we had all these women that were marching. How about these women that buy this book, 50 Grades of Shade, or even watch the movie? Women, there's something wrong when we watch these movies or read these books and then we want equal rights. There is something wrong. I mean, seriously wrong. If we want to be little bitches, okay, and let our man rule over us during any sexual games or whatever, and then turn around and say, wait a minute, no, we don't want it. We want to have equal rights. Well, there's something wrong. I mean, these women are extremely confused. Extremely confused. So I suggest if you want changes, you're going to have to live changes. You're going to have to act respectfully. You have to treat people with respect, men and women, and you have to stand up for your own rights. Not march, but stand up for your own rights. Okay? Be concrete. You want to concrete change something, change it. Okay? Or work for it. Work on your self-esteem, women. That is very important. So I will finish up with that, and I will continue next time with probably male dominance. I want to talk a little more about male dominance, history of male dominance. And again, you know now that I don't just believe that men are dominant. I think women are just as dominant as men, and that can be seen all the time. When you look at, I used to work in the prison, and so I didn't work in the women's prison, but I heard things from my colleagues what these women do when they're in the women's prisons, and um, when they're together in the women's prison, one woman will take charge too, or not just one woman, but it could be several groups, and every group has a woman in charge, and there's hierarchies. Um, so no, women definitely rule it over. So, but I want to talk more about male dominance next time. So see you later.